What is the best uncommon in Guilds of Ravnica? Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. It is Sunday, a fine day for relaxing, so go ahead and chill. We're going to have a fun little discussion here. Once I'm done my part of it, it'll be your turn. What I want to talk about is what is the best uncommon from Guilds of Ravnica. Now this is going to be a very, very subjective situation, right? Because people have different metrics of valuation for how they look at things. Are you talking about what is the absolute most powerful card currently in the standard meta? What's the best? Like, there are a lot of different factors. Some people would go, I only care about what's good in Modern. Give me that uncommon that lets me eat life from them when it goes to the graveyard for my deck. All these different factors, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down my choice, what made me decide that, and then you guys let me know what you guys think of my choice and also what your choices are, because I know there's going to be some variance. Now, there's a little bit of some clues going on. I don't know if you noticed, but I gave you a hint about the guild that this card is coming from. I've been playing a lot of Magic on Arena lately, so I've been playing a lot of standard games and a bunch of draft guild, Ravnica draft. So this is partially why I like this particular card, because I'm using it both in my deck and in the drafts that I've been playing in. And the card is, I actually have one right here, Goblin Banneret. I adore this card. We'll put up a proper one on the screen for you to see, because obviously looking at this little guy isn't going to do it for you. But I get to hold one and look at it right now. So 1 red for a 1/1. It's got Mentor. It also has the ability pay 1 red and 1 colorless to give it +2/+0 till end of turn. Now the flavor text is the one thing I don't know off the top of my head. The Boros banner stands tall even if its bearer doesn't. I really enjoy both the flavor and the power of this card. So I'm going to talk about the flavor first, and then we'll talk about the power of the card. So from a flavor perspective, I absolutely adore the way that the Boros have instilled honor and nobility almost into goblins, right? Like the Boros, they have it right here actually. Valor, justice, law. So goblins are normally wild, crazy creatures. You know what I mean? They don't normally tend to be law-abiding citizens. That doesn't tend to be the way that it goes. So to go from not being law-abiding citizens and the kind of people, or the basically what would be a problem for a population, to go to the law keepers of that population, that's an interesting transition, and it speaks to the power of the ordered mentality of the Boros, right? That they can even bring goblins in under their banner. And that's what he is, right? He's a banner carrier. He's carrying the big old Boros, oh, wrong way, Boros standard there on his flag. I really love the sense of action where he's got the flag over one shoulder, but he's charging in with his sword. And the organized concept of the Boros bringing that this is law, this is order concept is really strong with this when you look at the Mentor ability. Now for me, Mentor is it's a really strong ability. I really like it. I think it's actually pretty versatile. But in terms of the flavor, which is just what we're evaluating right now, Mentor brings in the concept of, okay, first of all, you take a goblin. Normally they live in squalid caves, right? A lot of goblins just live terrible lives, terrible, brief, dirty lives, right? That's the normal lot of a goblin. Now, this goblin, on the other hand, he's clean and sizzling, baby. He's ready to go. He's not a speck of dirt on him. He has that soldier's order to him, his weapons, his helmet, the little knee pad with the spikes and everything. It's all highly polished and very clean. There's not a speck of dirt on him. So he's been raised to that level of order, to the degree where not only has it been instilled in him, but he can now instill it in others. That's what the mentor ability is, right? A mentor is someone that you look up to who teaches you. And the concept of learning from a goblin and having a goblin mentor for a non-goblin, because this is somebody who can mentor any soldier in the Boros Legion. And the Boros accept a lot of different people, right? They have minotaurs, ogres, all kinds of stuff. So you could have all kinds of things being mentored by this because it does have the pump ability. So even when you're dealing with ogres and minotaurs with a high power, they could see the raw power this guy is running in with and go, oh, I'm inspired by him. Genuinely, the flavor behind it is really cool. This is not what you see with goblins. Ravnica is the only world that I can think of that has goblins that are this orderly. Now, obviously, you'll see goblins going in different guilds and things like that as well. It's not like goblins are exclusive to Boros. You'll have your Rakdos goblins that are more interested in whatever, but it's just, it speaks to the sheer power of the Boros that they could attract any goblins into the ranks, let alone like him and the Legion Warboss actually have mentor level goblins. So that on a flavor perspective is an absolute home run for me. Now, flavor isn't enough to make it the best card for me. It also needs to have a significant level of power. And I genuinely believe the power level of this card to be significant. 1 red for 1/1. So obviously the investment of mana is very cheap. This thing can end up giving you +1/+1 counters on multiple creatures for free, basically. I mean, yes, you do end up boosting it, but the boost is going to translate into more damage to your opponent. On that note as well, if you drop this on the first turn, that means if you don't have a second turn play, you can pump the mana into this and swing for 3 on the second turn. And that's a significant amount of damage. You're taking 15% of your entire opponent's life total on the second turn with just an investment of 2 mana and a 1/1 goblin. And because he's 1/1 and super cheap, you don't care about him. Like, he's great, and you want to have him around to take advantage of his ability. But if he gets snuffed out by something, you don't care that much because you did not invest a lot of mana into him. On top of that, people are very likely to block this guy. They really want him dead because he's a problem. If you don't block him, you go pump crazy. And the pumping beforehand to give the mentor ability is also an issue. Those +1/+1 counters really start to stack up. I have used this a lot and faced off against this and other mentor cards, and it's surprising. It is surprising how powerful mentor actually turns out to be. And the fact that this guy's power is scalable makes him stronger even later on. If you pick him up later in the game, you can drop him down. If you have a bunch of lands, if you can funnel 6-8 mana into this guy, all of a sudden, you're funneling down the lane for like 9 damage, right? And you can mentor anything as well. It makes him into a threat that has to, basically, to me, he's a threat that has to be respected for the entirety of the match. It's not something you can just ignore. People are happy to get it off the board. They're happy to trade their bigger creatures for it, a 3/3 or whatever, because they know you're going to pump it up to 3 power and swing. So you can end up easily trading this for another creature that's bigger than it with just a slight investment of mana, and at the same time boost another one of your creatures. He's really solid. I'm never really disappointed to draw one of these unless it's down to the point where I literally have to goldfish a piece of burn to end the game. Like if it's like, oh, I'm gonna die if I don't pick up the thing that I need to win, then yeah, he's not a great pull at that point. But honestly, he's incredibly solid to the point where I was super excited to see him in an arena draft, where normally when I'm drafting, I will only pick the rares and then I'll pick for my deck because the rares are harder to get and I'm trying to build my collection, right? But I made an exception for this guy. I was building a deck that was it was green-blue. I don't remember the exact color combination to be honest, but it wasn't red. But as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, I need you for my deck. Oh, I need you. I absolutely adore this guy. This is my #1 pick. Now, that's obviously partially because flavor also weighs heavily for me. I know some of you don't care at all about flavor, and that's perfectly fine. Enjoy what you like. It's a matter of finding your own personal enjoyment. So when it comes down to what is the best uncommon, let me know what you think the best uncommon from Guilds of Ravnica is. Now feel free, if you just want to say the name of the card, or if you want to go into as much detail as I did, that's up to you. I read all the comments, and part of what I do at least is informed by those comments. One of the videos that came out today would specifically, or I should not say today, yesterday I should say. One of the videos that came out yesterday would not have been created were it not for the comment section. So I genuinely appreciate that you guys take the time to share your thoughts. I encourage you to do so now, and we're going to hop on over, see a new 6 color of magic.
This is Sean, the bicycle enthusiast, from the edge of the world itself, California. That's right, the sun's about to go into the ocean and die. That's what we see here in California every day. That's right, and together, we are Armageddon Crew. I mean, together, we are Perp Media. Team Purple, the 6th color of magic. We'll see who's laughing in 6 billion years.
So, the last thing to do is to roll that golden scroll and to let you know that I'm going to be live streaming on my other channel today. I encourage you to come and check it out. Lazy Sunday, just going to be having some fun. Might even show up here too. Who knows? I'm all over the place. So thanks for coming by. Here you go. Here's how you get to my other channel. Here's some more fun over. Hail to the king, baby!